2020. What a year has it been? So I know this is actually pretty early, but I promised a certain person of mine that I would do this. But of course, probably 2020 or something like that. And obviously he said he's going to react to this later, so who knows. I think he probably knows who he is because he's the one who asked for this. But I admittedly never thought of doing a review on a year like this. 2020, huh? There's a lot to talk about of 2020. And I don't want to put my personal opinions into anything. I will say there's been a lot of problems with 2020. There have been a lot of fear. On the flip side, there have been a lot of good. At least some good. But mostly 2020 has been very non-tamed in the pair of many other things. For example, there's been recent rising of crime and shootings. And there's been a recent upscale of lockdowns because of coronavirus. And of course, many other things. When I look at 2020, I will say that this was very much a bad year to start on. And it's still going on. We still have the elections. We still have that controversy about the shootings and all that. And we're still having trouble with, cancel culture and all that. And I just feel like this year has been full of negativity. However, there has been some positives. Pokemon Sword and Shield have been getting DLC. Smash Brothers, recently even introduced Steve to Smash. There's been many good video games being released on time. And many good new music. And new and better anime. There's a lot of new good things. But for reals, I think this whole year has been so messed up, though, that even those positives, I try to look for positives a lot because that's one thing growing up I was taught to look at positives. And there has been pretty good positives this year. And especially in my neck of the woods being, video games. But obviously can't hide the stain that is the real world is doing. One major factor is the fact that there's so many things that have been gone down to me this year that it's really not a good year in general. But one thing I learned was we got to not focus on the negatives. We only have to focus on positives. And I know that sounds tough because, seriously, holy crap, this year has been fucked up and it's not even sugarcoated. But seriously, oh boy. This year, things have been so changed. Everything has changed since those two incidents. And everyone's been going crazy. And it's just been, been things that have been happening even to me. Like, I pretty much have been being hit with tough stuff. I was furloughed this year. I had to delete my second channel this year. And right now I've been dealing with the subject of moving out and stuff, what's been on stressful on my mind. Because I know it's going to be a big new year, especially next year, what I'll be doing with all that. And I'll give you guys an update later on that. It's been a tough year for me, and that's just the fracture of how much junk I have to deal with. And I try to look at the positives. Like today, if you guys been, looking at my other postings on other sites, I recently finally got the theme of Pokemon for Tetris 99, which is out right now, by the way, so you can go look that up. And obviously next week is the Crown Tundra, so I'm definitely excited and can't wait for that. And also we got Creeper in Smash, which I look at that as a positive. So throughout, I try to look at positives throughout the negativity. And I think that's what we should start looking towards next time in next year, for positive. Because this whole year has been full of crappy negatives that makes you want to barf all over the floor. And to be honest, I'm not very much a good guy to look at positives. I sometimes get a little bit dramatic, but I always try to look at positives. In fact, that's the major reason, once again, the reason why I decided to not only delete my channel, but start to move away from ARGs a bit. I will admit that I finally started, getting back a little bit with it, but I started moving away from all the negative stuff about it, like those people and all that, and try to stick more to a positive, more understanding stories about it. Like, even though I have been off, literally off the Night Mind and Nexpo, which obviously I now truly hate those two. I am not even going to joke, I actually hate the crap out of those two. And not even get to the D word, which is who and what, who's actually a real D word. But I still enjoy a little bit of dark sideness. I mean, obviously it's Halloween, and who doesn't love Halloween? Plus, I'm still loving the SCP Foundation and those Local 58 and all that. But that's only because they don't force true negativity on you. In fact, they're pretty good. In fact, that's kind of an interesting thing. You have to look for goodness into something. Don't look for something that is very toxic. Don't look for something that is going to definitely tell you, hey, you should be down, let me push you on the ground and bury you alive with that ground. Don't look for negative stuff. Negative stuff is going to hurt you. And it's going to hurt you pretty well. Heck, like I said, that thing literally got me off the wagon of literally ARGs. Even though, I will admit, I still watch a lot of good stories, but that's only because it's rare and few. And even then, some of them are pretty still good to this day. In fact, I recently been using my second channel now to keep up with an idea that I have in mind. But even then, I won't be doing another second channel anytime soon. And even then, I pretty much have getting over. I'm trying to start back with ARGs, but not too darkly, of course. And I've been, accepting other things as well. And, the thing that I learned, though, is you can't have too much negativity. I think that's definitely what this year's lesson may be. We have a year that is so bad that everyone keeps complaining about it, but there's actually been a lot of good in this year. Stuff that I'm obviously can't name because I don't know much, but I know there's been good for me, at least somewhat. I recently now reached up to 6 62 subscribers. That's good. I mean, I'm almost to the milestone of 100 subscribers. And, you know, I got a huge break from my work, which is admittedly hilariously good in disguise of evil. And, you know, I'm definitely, you know, we got Pokemon coming. It's really great. I think this was a good year for Pokemon somewhat. Even though a lot of people still hate its guts. Which, I think that's a main issue for another time, because I may have to do another video on that. But the point is, the reason why I'm making this video, not only because someone told me, but, you know, I kind of thought of what could be my mechas for 2020 and moving forward from 2021. Because I know a lot of people is going to look back on this because it has 2020 in this title. The answer is simple. Do not look at negatives. Look at positives. Don't delve yourself into negatives. Go to positives. It's okay to have, you know, dark side, look at dark stuff. Heck, my favorite anime, one of my favorite animes is Madoka Magica. We all know how dark that is. But you don't have to invest your time to so much darkness. You have to have a balance. And even then, point is, just try to look for something positive in your life. It can save you, actually. Like, I will say this again, if it wasn't for me deleting my YouTube channel, I would probably be much more in a serious situation than I was. And actually, well, my second channel, by the way, if I missaid that, I don't remember. But it was thanks to, you know, my realization and taking that break that I realized, you know what, I don't need negativity. You know what, I don't really need to go to that area, because if I work in that area, then it would probably be garbage. It's kind of ironic because during that time I watched a video ago that, you know, taught me, you know, kind of foreshadowed my fall, which was I was dealing with a group that I should not been in because they're a whole different ball game. That's why my channel, this main channel, has changed gears and focused more on gaming and, you know, all that. And you know what? I'm actually proud that I admit that I was probably wrong doing that. But I'm also proud that I found out my answer and why I was failing. So long story short, please, please, please look for positivity. Even if your situation is trying to kill you, please look for positive. It's the only thing that helps you. I hope you all have a good rest of 2020. I know I'm probably going to. And, you know, and also, you know what? You're welcome, GR Reed or GP Reads. You're welcome. And of course, for those who don't know who that is, that's the guy who wanted this video. And if you want, make sure you subscribe to his channel. I'll actually send a link to the description below because he's pretty awesome. And of course, you know, go ahead and, you know, I don't know what you want to do. Go find another video. I don't care if you subscribe to my channel or not. You don't have to. That's actually the thing. I don't force subscriptions on you guys. We already know that. That's why I don't say don't really care if you subscribe to my channel or not. I will be appreciated if you do, but I'm not going to force you because that's your choice. But anyways, I'm snapping out of here. Bye.